evening, everyone. Welcome back to Ghosting with Anya. I'm your host, Anya Smith, also the author of Anya's Ghost Stories Volume 1 and Volume 2, The Return of the Dead. Anyway, sorry about that. I was getting all cleaned up and like before 8:30. I'm here now. So today is June 5th, and today is from 17 years ago. It was Michael Jackson's death during the 17 years ago today was passed away at 2:20 p.m. So, yeah. Also, Fearless and I went to the movies today. We went to see Disclosure Day. That's the name of the movie. Something to do with a woman that has some kind of psychic abilities, I guess. She looks into people's eyes, like into their souls, knows everything. It's like she's, I don't know, shapeshifting into their loved ones and telling these people everything's going to be okay. Hey, Chris. What's up?
Not much. How you doing, sweetie?
Good. Anyway, but yeah, this movie, it's kind of interesting. And then when you see something that was recorded from 1940s, which is something to do with aliens, like Roswell 1947, when the ship somehow crashed and the military somehow took these aliens after they landed and they were interrogated, treated like shit. So that was a little strange. So it reminds me of the show that I have seen. It's called The X-Files. That's something to do with aliens and a bunch of shit. So, like paranormal stuff, aliens, this is what reminds me of. But anyway, tonight we're having a story called The Midwife at Willow Farm. It's something to do with the birth mother and a midwife. The midwife was helping the pregnant lady. She was helping her giving birth of the child, like helping her to stay calm so the baby is not in distress when the baby is born, that sort of thing. Centuries ago, they didn't have any medication. They didn't have epidural, or there's another medicine that can make the pain go away when a mother is about 10 centimeters from giving birth to their first child. So, but yeah, a lot of farmer women literally, they didn't have meds either. So they had to give birth to their children naturally. So, like, they had home births. And it's fine. I mean, I've never done it because I don't have experience of giving birth. So we don't have children, and we just have a kitty. I think of her as my child, my baby. So anyway, I hope you guys are ready. So I just want to say thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you for listening to my stories. And also, thanks just for being here with me and supporting all this, me doing this a wonderful job for you guys, because this is what I do and this is what I love. So we are in episode 175. Anyway, let's get started. So sit back, relax, get something to drink, maybe. Get under the covers, maybe. And just please click like, share, and subscribe. And let's get started on the story. The Midwife at Willow Farm, Season 5, Episode 175. Ada did not want to be at Willow Farm in January. She had come only because her cousin June was 8 months pregnant. The roads were already half iced over and the farm sat too far from town for anyone to trust a quick trip if labor started early. June's husband, Eli, had done his best to sound prepared when he called, but Ada knew panic disguised as confidence. When she heard it, the farmhouse was old, drafty, and stubborn in all the ways family properties often are. It had belonged to June's people for generations, and every room seemed built to remind visitors of women who had cooked, recovered, grieved, and given birth. There before modern medicine removed childbirth from the geography of the home. Ada arrived with groceries, blankets, and a phone charger. The first odd thing she noticed was the upstairs guest room already laid out with boiled cloths, folded towels, and a wash basin, though neither June nor Eli claimed to have prepared it. I'm guessing this farm has been around for at least few generations. Like, we don't really know how many centuries, but I'm guessing over 1,000 centuries. So somewhere around there, but yeah. Hey, can you get me some water, please?
Sure.
A full glass of water. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, my mouth gets very dry a lot. So I drink pop, I drink water. I need to drink water. So anyway, any farm that can belong to any people, like if they have some kind of contract or something. So, anyway, a lot of people do. I, for instance, don't have any farm to own, so I literally would want to, but I don't know. I've never had a farm in my own family, but you know, my biological father's father had a farm, literally, and never been there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh,
Anyway, let's start. June swore she planned to set the room up soon, but had not yet carried anything upstairs. Eli said the basin and towels had been in the kitchen that afternoon. Ada believed them because both looked too exhausted to stage eerie domestic surprises, she moved the cloths back downstairs herself and tried not to think about it. That night, just after midnight, she heard someone walking the upstairs hall in soft brisk steps. Pausing outside June's room, then continuing to the guest room and back again. Pattern repeated 3 times. Ada opened her door and saw, at the far end of the hall, a woman in a dark dress with white apron ties at her back, carrying a folded bundle of linens against her chest. The woman moved with practiced focus, not gliding or draining, simply hurrying the way someone hurries when there are things to prepare before pain takes over. By the time Ada it, only the smell of lavender soap remained. June was not frightened when Ada told her. She was pale, yes, and a little too calm, which was its own warning. Then she admitted there had always been stories in the family of midwife who still checked the rooms whenever storm births at Willow Farm. The name varied depending on who told it. Mara Maybell, Mary Flynn, but everyone agreed she had once delivered half the valley's babies by lantern light before the Count built a clinic. According to June's grandmother, Mary Flynn had died on the road to the farm one blizzard night while trying to reach a laboring mother in time. The child and mother survived with help from neighbors, but the family believed Mary's rounds never really stopped. Ada wanted stories is easier than admitting labor. Midnight might begin before the weather cleared. Then she found the upstairs room reset again before dawn, this time with the basin filed and steam faintly rising from it. I think this woman, Mara Maybell, Mary Flynn, somehow maybe she was a midwife from like centuries ago or a few hundred years back, maybe. I don't know. She was trying to get to the mother on time during some kind of storm. She was trying to help the mother deliver a child safely, but apparently she couldn't get to the mother on time, but her spirit somehow maybe got stuck. So this young woman, she probably was about my age by now, but when she died, or she was a little younger than me. I don't know. So, no wonder why she got stuck in that farm, because she was trying to send help, maybe, like for a doctor or whoever. But apparently, she passed away. Maybe from the cold. I don't know how she died. Maybe she died from being frozen somehow. I mean, a lot of people do that. So, anyway, is this breaking your heart about this young lady? She was not a teenager. She was probably young, but in her 20s, probably, or 30s. We don't know. But she was, I don't know, she was real one time. So, anyway, I hope that you give her something that she might needed, like maybe silence, or maybe to acknowledge her, remember the way she was when she was alive. Perhaps she wanted to help the mother who was in labor, like if she was like 9 months pregnant or something like that, she would come and help. But apparently this woman died too soon, unexpectedly. Anyway, let's continue on the story. If this story makes any sense to you all, please leave me a comment down below. By afternoon, the storm had worsened, and June's contractions were no longer false. The roads out were half gone under snow and wind. Eli called the clinic, the sheriff's office, and the nearest neighbor with a truck, getting versions of the same answer: hold steady, monitor timing, and wait for the roads to become passable, or for someone to break through if conditions eased. June tried to be brave and mostly succeeded until dusk. When the contractions sharpened and fear stripped politeness away, Ada, who had delivered nothing more urgent than potted herbs and awkward family advice, moved through the house, gathering towels, hot water, and every bit of practical instruction she could remember from classes she never expected to use. Each time she ran upstairs, the room was one step more prepared than she had left it. Additional pillows appeared, a lamp trimmed itself, low and steady. The old rocking chair beside the bed faced the correct angle for support. The house seemed to be remembering procedures faster than the living could improvise them. Wow. I hope that this helps at any other ways. If there are any pregnant women out there who's watching my show, I hope this story makes any sense to you all. And I hope you guys stay calm to this. I mean, this story can be like related to all the paranormal activities. So anyway, I hope that you are brave enough to listen to all these stories. I mean, I don't have any experience of having children because I can't have children at all. I'm type 1 diabetic, and I won't be able to survive giving birth to a child. I'd rather have a cat. I mean, I love children, but I won't be able to have one because of my illness. My husband, he is autistic and diabetic as well. So we won't be able to have children at this point. The reason why is because if I did have a kid, I would probably save my baby if I have to sacrifice my own life just to save the child. Even if I have to die giving birth to my baby. Literally. I choose my own child's life. I choose to save my baby. So, but I won't be able to have a child. Anyway, Chris and I just gonna be fun auntie and uncle to my sister-in-law who has 2 kids already. So anyway, but yeah, all right. Let's continue on the story. We are in 20 minutes already, and it's 15 minutes after 9. Anyway, I hope this makes any sense to you guys. I really do. My mouth is so dry. That's why I drink a lot of pop or water. So, okay, let's continue on the story. At the height of the storm, while Eli fought the generator and June labored upstairs, Ada saw the midwife clearly in the mirror over the washstand. She stood behind June with sleeves rolled, dark hair pinned severely, and an expression of fierce concentration, sharpened by long practice. Her hands moved not through June exactly, but around her, indicating where Ada should stand, when Eli should support her shoulders, when the basin should be moved, when the room needed less noise and more breath. Ada obeyed with the kind of faith people reserve for competence rather than mysticism. Once, when panic rose too fast in the room, the midwife looked directly at Ada in the mirror and said, "Slower, she hears your fear before she hears your words." Ada swallowed her own terror and changed her voice. June's breathing followed. The birth was long, difficult, and nothing like the soft, focused courage stories pretend. There was blood. There were moments when Eli nearly broke down. There was one interval when June cried out that she couldn't do it, and Ada almost believed her. All of it, the room held together with a strange old coherence, as if generations of women had lent structure through floorboards and linen seams. Near dawn, the storm loosened just enough for red emergency lights to show faintly on the road below. But by then, the child was already coming, the midwife visible only in fragments, reflection, shadow, the lift of an apron, string at the edge of sight, guided Ada's hands into confidence she had not earned in ordinary ways. Then, with one last terrible push and one impossible still second before sound, the baby arrived and cried hard enough to reorder the house. Something tells me that Ada is following the advice of a dead woman named Mara Maybell Mary Flynn. I think that was the woman's name. If you guys knew who she was, she must have been a legendary midwife for any mother who was about to give birth. Reminds me of my mom. My mom, she didn't have a midwife. She had to go to a hospital and deliver me, literally. My mom was like 8 months pregnant with me anyway. So I came out early. I was kicking so hard. My mom thought I was going to be either a football player or a soccer player. But here I am, not doing sports, rather be a paranormal investigator, doing ghost stories, like in a really awesome podcast that I'm doing right here. Um, but yeah, I was born a month early, so the day of my birth was April 23rd of 1988. But I don't remember the name of the hospital or the room number that I was delivered in. So I was a baby. I don't even remember. But my parents actually put their names in my birth certificate. So the father wasn't actually allowed to be in the delivery room. But hey, at least my father finally got to hold me after I was born, and he wrote his name on my birth certificate. My mom did the same. So, but yeah, well, it was 1980s, like late 80s to early 90s. So for this story, Ada had to help her cousin June study the mother and study the birth thing. So anyway, June finally gave birth, and she did a wonderful job. Ada did the same thing, helping her cousin, including by following the advice of a dead midwife. So if I were her, I would probably do the same thing. I don't have any experience about it, but, well, I probably would help out too. You know what? Let's continue on the story. We're nearly done anyway. So after this story, doing questions and answers. If you guys have any, if this makes any sense, please leave comments below. You guys can tell me any stories about it, especially your experience of having kids and how painful it was. If you had a midwife while you were in labor with your first child. But just let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you had anything like this. Anyway, let's continue on the story. When the paramedics finally reached Willow Farm, they found mother and child exhausted but stable. Eli half laughing and half crying, and Ada sitting on the floor with her back against the bed frame, staring at the folded linens left untouched in the rocking chair. One of the medics, an older woman from the county, looked at the room and asked quietly whether the farm had sent the old helper again. Ada was too tired to ask. What she meant later, after June slept and the baby rooted blindly against a blanket. Ada checked the guest room where she had first seen the prepared basin. On the windowsill sat an old pair of wire spectacles no one in the family recognized. Beside them lay on one note card in faded script. Mother safe, child strong, roads poor. It read like a ledger entry from a life spent keeping order amid weather and blood. Willow Farm remained old, drafty, and inconvenient in all the familiar ways, but after the winter, no one in the family told the midwife story with a half-amused distance. People use to domesticate what frightens them. They told it with gratitude. June kept the wire spectacles in a small frame beside the baby's first hospital bracelet. Ada, who had entered the house believing in weather and logistics rather than ghosts, never quite decided what name to give what happened. Maybe the farm held memory. Maybe women's work leaves grooves stronger than death. Maybe in moments when the living run out of rehearsal, the dead step back into roles they once knew better than fear. Whatever the explanation, the room upstairs at Willow Farm is still called the midwife room, and no one sleeps there lightly in storm season. Wow, that's interesting. Perhaps maybe Ada maybe thanked the midwife for helping her cousin delivering the baby safely. So I hope the mother and child are safe. I mean, I'm actually happy. So anyway, if you ever had any experience about this, just let me know what you think. Just give me any comment, like any history about where you've seen the spirits. I wish I could have seen everything, but that probably would never happen. So, okay, the story's finally done, and now let's get to questions with answers. I mean, if you have any questions and some answers, please leave me comments down below. You can just say what you saw if you had any encounters with any midwives, like say a guardian angel, maybe like a spirit of a midwife who died a long time ago, like any country, Scotland, Ireland, maybe, or anywhere. Just depends. That's all we gotta do. All you gotta do is let me know what you think. So anyway, let's get started on the questions. We only have 10 questions and 10 answers. So let's get started. We are in 33 minutes now. We're nearly done. So, would you have trusted the unseen midwife's guidance during labor? Yes. If I ever saw this midwife, I would literally trust her. I would follow her advice. I would smile and thank her. Probably I would actually give her a lot of knowledge, and I would wave at her probably and tell her thank you for what she's done for all of us, especially say if my sister-in-law had another child. If the midwife came to see my sister-in-law and I would witness my sister-in-law giving birth, I would thank this midwife who's a spirit. I would thank her for taking care of my sister-in-law. I mean, if I ever had a child with my husband, the midwife would help me the same way. I would thank her for helping me delivering my first child safely. So that's exactly what we would have done. Isn't that right, Baba?
Yes.
Would you ever thank this midwife for helping me delivering our child?
Yes.
That's pretty cool. But yeah, my answer is yes. I hope you guys have the exact same answer. Let's go to number 2. Oh, sorry about that. Why are birth and storm stories so powerful together? No, not 3, but number 2. Sorry about that. I almost gone through. What do you think kept her returning to Willow Farm? I think she returned to Willow Farm is because she knows that the mother is about to give birth to a child, and perhaps she is here to help a mother who's about to give birth. She wanted to protect the mother and the baby. She wanted to make sure the baby was safe. So, no wonder why. She's trapped in a time loop. She's reliving her death the night she died, and the reason why she kept returning because every woman who's 9 months pregnant and about to give birth. So that's why she kept returning, because she knows that this mother, a pregnant young woman, is about to pop the kid out. So that's why she kept returning, because the baby's about to be born. That's probably why. Let's go to number 3. Why are birth and storms stories so powerful together? That's a good question, you guys. Well, the reason why storms and home birth is so strong together is because most children were born during storms. And it's probably because it's magic. Like if you watch Charmed, when Piper was pregnant with her first baby and she's about to give birth, and that's when the storm shows up. Here's a question for you. Why are birth and storm stories so powerful together?
Because they go hand in hand.
Yeah, I think so too. A lot of births and storms kind of go together, but it's probably because they're connected somehow. No wonder why. I pretty much was not born with the storms, but my birth was way different. I was born at midnight, like 10 minutes after midnight, but not in a storm. So I never had any experience to it, but maybe one day we'll see. Let's go to number 4. We're like halfway through this these questions. What unsettled you most? The prepared room, the mirror guidance, or the note card? That is unbelievable and good question. Well, I think it was the prepared room. Not just the notes, but also prepared room. I think it was well, there's a note card and the prepared room. That's what I'm thinking. But if you see the guidance in the mirror, which means that this ghost was not trying to be harmful. She was trying to help the mother deliver a baby. She was giving Ada advice how to help her cousin deliver the baby steady and safe without any stress. So I'm guessing the prepared room. Let's go to number 5. All right, we are at 5 questions left before I go off. Like, I sign off and go straight to bed afterwards. I already got cleaned up, got my teeth brushed up. Anyway, I am just gonna hang out in the bedroom like always. Going to refill my soda. I'm gonna take my medication and, well, I'm just gonna hang out in the bedroom. So anyway, let's continue on. Do you think the farm itself remembered the work? Yes. Yes, it did remember. It always remembered, especially for centuries. I mean, before the modern medical stuff was created, they didn't have meds, they didn't have doctors, only midwives, because they were experienced and they learned how to deliver children very safely. Maybe they were trained somehow, or they just knew what to do. So, especially in the farm, I clearly would have seen it a lot, but I probably would pass out if I ever saw anything like that. If I went back in time and witnessed everything, I could never unsee that. It would be burned into my mind forever. So, but I think the farm remembers everything because it's lived it for centuries. I mean, I never lived in a farm, so I have visited my stepfather's family farm when I was like 5 years old. Sergei M's parents actually were farmers, so I visited when I was 5, but I never knew anything about being a farmer because I never had experience. So I was a child. I never knew anything about being a farmer. So that's just how it is. But yes, the farm remembered all the work for biological mummies who gave birth to their kids, midwives delivering the biological mummies' babies. So it does remember, it knows because it had a lot of experience. Anyway, let's go to number 6. Is this story more comforting or more haunting? Comforting, actually. If it was haunting, which means the spirits are like moaning, like crying out or something like that, being confused and angry about how these people died, especially in farms. But this story is actually comforting. A spirit of a midwife named Mara Maybell Mary Flynn. She was just comforting a mom who was about to give birth. So I think she did the right thing. Yes. It is a comforting. Do you think this is a comforting story?
Yes.
If Katrina ever listened to this story on this episode, she would be comforted.
Yes, she would.
Even though she had Wyatt and Elizabeth.
Yes.
But yeah, I think she would be very comforted. So, all right, let's go to number 7. Would you have stayed once the roads became impassable? Yes, I definitely would have. I mean, if I chose to stay in that farm, even if the roads were cleared, yes, I definitely would. I would investigate these farms. I would investigate any haunted place just to get all the evidence and try to communicate with the spirits. I definitely would. So it's the only way to help a spirit move on into the afterlife is to find out how did they pass away in the first place. Was it like a violent or peaceful death? That sort of way. I would find out a lot more. I wanted the truth, and I would definitely help this spirit, even trying to get them to get the truth, just to remember what really happened. I definitely would stay, yes. All right, let's go to number 8. Why do domestic spaces hold certain forms of memory so strongly? Well, it's because spirits literally remember what they did before they died. They would vow they would come back and finish their work. Any spirit would. Like, say, a spirit of a midwife who delivered a bunch of children from any birth mom. They were proud to finish their work, but they also had to assist actual doctors. They completed their work because they loved it, and they would remember what they have learned, especially. So their forms are so strong. Their memories were very strong because they remember how they did their jobs very proudly and steady. Spirits would remember how they did it. But most spirits go back to the beginning where it happened. I probably would have done the same thing, but if I don't remember, that's because our memories are blocked, because they deny it. They don't want to remember because they're too afraid to admit it. Go back in time. No wonder why. So a lot of domestic spaces can hold anything. Yes, of course they could. Anyway, let's go to number 9, actually. All right, we have 2 questions left before I sign off. It's almost 10 o'clock anyway. It's like 9:43, and we are in 48 minutes. This video can be a little bit short. It can be long if you wish to. So, can skill and care outlast death in a practical way? Yes, it can. The reason why spirits can skill their cares is because they want to help the mother deliver a child very safely and cheat death. They just want to make sure the mother survived the birth and the child as well. So I don't have any words for that, but yes, it can. Death is like perhaps maybe death knows that this person could no longer be strong. Like, it's weak, it's getting worse, it's about to die. So death knows that this person could end up dead. So I don't have any words for that. All right, let's go to the last question. Number 10. If a dead expert stepped in during crisis, would you accept the help without question? Yes. Absolutely 1000% yes. If I saw this spirit, the expert, I would definitely accept it. I would take the advice and I would follow what they're doing, and I would definitely do that, yes. Would you?
Yes.
Here. If a dead expert stepped in during crisis, would you accept the help without question?
Yes.
We definitely would. So, I probably definitely would. Okay, you guys, we are out of time. So, thank you guys for listening and watching my show. It was the best time I had. And tomorrow we'll be doing a new story. It is called The Typewriter in the Guest Cottage. This is the new one. So I hope you all ready for the new story. So it is 8:44. Actually, my phone says 9, but I don't know why. There it is, 9:46. I thought that was 8:44. Anyway, it's almost 10 o'clock. So I hope that you were brave enough to listen, and I hope that you guys were confident and brave enough to leave me a comment down below. So hopefully you guys will do the same thing tomorrow. And you are always welcome to join my live stream right here on YouTube. So just want to say thank you and have a wonderful night and stay safe, and happy Independence Day that's coming up on July 4th. So have a great time, have a wonderful night, and stay safe, and stay spooky, have fun, and happy summer, and may God bless. And please pray for a lot of people. Pray for a lot of pregnant women who are in labor and about to give birth. So congratulations, whoever's pregnant, congratulations. So thank you guys and have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. to 9, or maybe a little after 8:30. So thank you again. Please click like, share, and subscribe. And thank you. Good night. Bye.